Welcome to my Design Through the Signs video training series. I'm so excited you're here. My name is Daniela West. I am the founder of the Humanista Co-Creative, and I love to combine coaching, design, and astrology to really help you express who you truly are, understand your unique identity, and really translate that out into the world through soul-aligned design, branding, websites, to really help you create a masterfully magnetic brand and magnetize your ideal clients. So in this video in particular, we are going to cover the zodiac sign of Gemini, the beautiful air sign of Gemini. We are going to cover what the inherent qualities of Gemini are, what are the unique characteristics, the unique role of Gemini, the unique effect that the Gemini energy will have on your audience. And we're also going to show you a beautiful visual example of how you can actually translate the lovely Gemini qualities out into the world through your branding, specifically through your website. So there's going to be a lot of practical tips, a lot of visual inspiration, and a lot of ideas for your magnetic messaging that you can create and craft to magnetize your ideal clients. So if you are an online business owner, if you're curious about astrology, I highly recommend this video. It's going to be super useful and inspirational. And as a first place to get started, if you're not yet familiar with your birth chart, there are free websites out there. I recommend one called astro.com. Link will be in the description below for you. Just pop in your birth details in that free website, and you can go ahead and pull up your birth chart. Now, during this video, I would recommend that you focus on some specific placements that are really going to help you understand how you can translate your unique energy, especially related to Gemini, through your branding. So I want you to look at the following placements. Definitely your big three, which are your sun, moon, and rising signs. Rising, aka ascendant. I'd also recommend looking at your Venus sign and your Mercury, because Mercury in particular is the planet of communication. So understanding the sign that Mercury is in will really help you understand what is your unique brand voice, what's going to be the most potent, natural, and magnetic way that you communicate naturally to magnetize your ideal clients. So if you find Gemini in any of these placements, this is going to be a really awesome video for you. And if you have Gemini elsewhere in your chart, this will also be a really helpful video, because expressing our unique astrological design through branding, it's an art and a science. So just think about this as like you have different ingredients to your personality, which can be found in your birth chart, and they will all express themselves in beautiful, unique ways. So this video is educational to give you some inspiration and concrete tips to really bring your brand to life. So a little bit about the Gemini zodiac sign. Let's get into Gemini first. Gemini is a mutable air sign. Mutable meaning it is the most flexible and adaptable of the air signs in the zodiac wheel. Gemini is represented symbolically by an image of twins. So you can also think of this as sort of like a mirror reflection. You could think of this as duality. You could think of this as two sides of the same coin. So twin aspects, for example. Some other things to think about for Gemini is Gemini is a talker. Gemini is all about communication. It is ruled by the planet of Mercury. So when I think about Gemini, it's very much about communication. It's about teaching, education. It's about learning. It's very much about curiosity. So if you have any strong Gemini placements in your chart, you may find that clients really come to you because you have this natural way of being. You exude this energy that stimulates people's curiosity. The way that you speak, the way that you express yourself, it really makes people curious to learn more. You may find that you have this natural ability to speak really clearly, really in a very entertaining way. Gemini can definitely be super entertaining. It's a very fast moving energy. So yes, the way that you communicate may be, it may be entertaining, it may be fun, you may be really funny and charming and witty. And you may be someone that just really loves to learn. You might dabble in a bunch of different things. You love consuming information. You may be really drawn to social media and content creation, and the online space in general may be really attractive for a Gemini. And the online space might be a really great domain for you to really master. People with heavy Gemini energy can really do well in fields related to teaching, writing, publishing, podcasting, speaking. So anything related to the voice in particular, and getting information out there, disseminating information is really Gemini's domain, really Gemini's wheelhouse. So you're a wordsmith. Let's leave it at that. You're a master wordsmith if you've got heavy Gemini energy in your chart. And yeah, I think with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into an actual visual example of what Gemini energy can look like, translated through a screen, translated through a visual identity. So we are going to dive into an example here. So here we've got our lovely visual example website pulled up for you. This is actually a website template, a DIY template that comes from my unique goddess collection. I have an online template shop. You can find that in the description below. This is from my goddess collection of Squarespace website templates. They are all inspired by a different sign of the zodiac. So when I created Reflect, I was really thinking of the Gemini energy in particular. I was channeling this Gemini energy, this concept of the twins, the duality, the the mirror effect in particular, thinking about reflection and looking in a mirror. So I want to dive into this example with you to give you some really concrete examples, some visual inspiration. We're going to dive into layout design. We're going to dive into color palette ideas. I'm going to talk about fonts, imagery, emotions, and also messaging, very much related to this Gemini energy. So different language and keywords, vocabulary that you can really keep in mind as you're crafting your brand. That is really going to help you elevate everything if you've got these strong Gemini placements. So the first thing I want to point out is sort of when I think of how do I visualize the Gemini energy, my thought was editorial, because this energy is so much about communication. It's so much about teaching and also consuming information and learning. I came up with the concept of editorial. You could think about, let's say, having it feel like a newspaper, for example, having it feel like a magazine, having it feel like a book, or even like a book, like a fairy tale, some kind of storybook. You can decide which aesthetic you'd want to go for depending on, you know, how your unique energy translates and what feels right for you and your audience. But for this particular template, I was channeling a bit more of a newspaper editorial vibe, so I wanted to go a bit more on the minimalist side, a bit more on the clean, refined side in terms of storytelling. So we've got like delicate lines here that can sometimes form a grid or a frame. When I say frame, I'm talking about framing the actual photos themselves, you know, framing different text on the screen, even with sort of this rectangular background, just to give it a bit more framing and angles to the layout. I really like this concept of framing when I think about the twins of Gemini, the mirror reflection of the Gemini energy. So I really took this concept of mirrors and reflection and frames and incorporated that all throughout this website. So I think that concept of framing, the concept of, highlighting different text in unique ways to pique curiosity, that's going to be really important for visualizing the Gemini energy. Even in the imagery itself, we've got paintings, we've got things that are visually framed. So it really creates this very cohesive look. I talk a lot about mirror work in this particular template. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur, if you are some kind of a healer or coach or somebody that really helps facilitate transformation for your clients, I really liked this concept of mirror work that I incorporated throughout this Gemini inspired website, because mirror work is such a transformational tool for facilitating the process of someone looking in the mirror, learning to love themselves, learning to actually see themselves through their own reflection rather than how they think other people see them. So I just really like that concept of mirror work to give you some concrete idea of maybe the type of work somebody with some Gemini placements might do. As it relates to healing, as it relates to transformation. And then with the layout, again, having this grid effect, separating the content into different segments, having this interesting framed overlap. It's interesting to play around with different shapes and different grids in the layout as another way, again, to visually pique curiosity, which is a very big role of the Gemini energy. We're stimulating curiosity. We are inviting people into this sort of storyteller experience through as we're playing on the Gemini energy. I definitely want you to think about, how can I pique curiosity through my content, through my visual identity? How can I add unique elements to my branding that is going to be fresh and a little unexpected and maybe kind of fun, maybe just really interesting, because all of those small visual details are just going to be entertaining. They're gonna be things that leave people wanting to continue engaging and keep learning about you, because we've got visual details that inspire curiosity. So definitely want you to think about that intention when you're channeling this Gemini energy through your branding. Stimulating curiosity, communication, disseminating information, sharing lots of information, creating a very storytelling experience for your audience. And yeah, I think that is a really good summary of the Gemini energy, and certain pieces of vocabulary that you can also keep in mind. It's entertaining, it's stimulating, it invites curiosity, it is a fast-moving energy, it is very much about teaching and sharing information and learning. And yeah, I think that's a really good summary of the Gemini energy. So that sums up our Gemini video for the series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot of inspiration, a lot of practical tips and tricks that you can incorporate into your brand and website if you are feeling the Gemini vibes and want to incorporate more of that. And thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and shoot me a little comment. I would love to hear from you. If you resonated with this video, if you got any inspiration, if you learned anything new, and I would love to hear, where in your birth chart does the Gemini energy appear, and how have you noticed that expressing itself into your life? I'd really love to hear from you. And if you really enjoyed that template, if you would love to have a template like that for your website, you can go ahead and explore the description below. I'm dropping all the links. There is my online shop where you can check out the entire Goddess collection of astrology inspired Squarespace website templates. All of them, any purchase of those templates includes access to my signature Squarespace Savant online course. It is an incredible, robust video tutorials course taught by yours truly, and In it, you will learn how to brand, build, and launch your website in just 10 steps or less. Rave reviews about this site, can't say enough good things about it. So that's included, as well as an incredible privately curated collection by yours truly of high-end stock photos. You will also get access to that. There's over 1,000 in that collection, and it's constantly growing. I'm constantly adding gorgeous premium stock photos in there, so you'll get access to all of that. And if you'd love to work with me, I also offer brand astrology readings to help you really discover who you truly are, how to translate your unique purpose out into the world through your brand, how to craft masterfully magnetic messaging that's truly going to magnetize your ideal clients, and really help you embody your inner CEO like a boss. So if you'd love to work one-on-one with me, I do offer brand astrology readings. You can find a link to that in the description below. And I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the rest of the Design Through the Signs playlist. And I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.